I want to start out by giving all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahshua, Ba'ashim Rakadish. Salutation to the elders and the apostle, the GMS groups, the ones that like teach 100% true. Shalom, Barakatham to them, for the edification and knowledge, and double honors to the elders and apostles, GMS groups, the ones that like teach 100% true. Shalom, Barakatham to them. Give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahshua, Ba'ashim Rakadish. It's a nice quick lesson. This is Operation Legend. Operation Legend or Operation Legend is a federal law enforcement operation in the United States initiated by administration of President Donald Trump. The operation was named after 4-year-old Legend Taliaferro was shot and killed in Kansas City, Missouri in June 2020. Operation Legend was implemented as President Trump increased law enforcement and military efforts to crack down on violent crime in the wake of the George Floyd protests. Agents from various federal agencies were deployed as a part of the Operation Legend to aid city and county law enforcement officers. Now the date, July 8, 2020, the present location, United States cities of Albuquerque, New Mexico, Baltimore, Maryland, Chicago, Illinois, Kansas City, Missouri, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Participants, United States Department of Justice, Federal Bureau of Investigation, United States Marshal Service, Drug Enforcement Administration, DEA, Bureau of Alcoholic, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, DHS, or Department of Homeland Security. This relates to the background. In the early morning hours of June 29, 2024, 4-year-old Legend Taliaferro was killed while he was sleeping after his apartment was shot by gunfire. Death of Taliaferro occurred during a time of increased violence in Kansas City and Missouri as a whole, with at least 5 children being killed in Kansas City in the first 6 months of 2020. On July 3rd, 2020, Kansas City Mayor Quentin Lucas sent a letter to Governor Mike Parsons stating that the city was at a crisis point regarding to crime. Mayor Lucas called on Governor Parsons to create a special legislative session in the Missouri General Assembly so Missouri could address the crime issue facing the city, Operation Kansas City. 5 days after Mayor Lucas' letter was sent, the United States Department of Justice announced the Operation Legend initiative on July 8, 2020 to bring federal law enforcement agents to Kansas City to assist local authorities with combating crime. During a press conference, White House Press Secretary Quelling cited crime statistics in Kansas City, including a 40% increase of homicides, stating that agents from the United States Department of Justice, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, United States Marshal Service, Department of Homeland Security, Drug Enforcement Administration, and Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives would be deployed to the city within the next 10 days. Expansions. On July 22nd, 2020, President Trump announced plans to expand Operation Legend to Albuquerque, Chicago, Baltimore, and Philadelphia. According to a Reuters report, the Department of Justice official said that the operation was not related to the deployment of federal agencies to ongoing protests in Portland, Oregon. Acting DHS was Department of Homeland Security Secretary Wolf reported the Associated Press drew a distinction between the mission in Portland to protect federal property and the surges in Kansas City, Chicago, and Albuquerque to help stop violence. It was also announced at the time that the program would also expand to Cleveland, Detroit, and Milwaukee over the next 3 weeks. Now, it relates to the effects. Arrest. In July 2020, Attorney General William Barr announced that more than 200 individuals were arrested during the initial operation in Kansas City, stating just to give an idea of what was possible, the FBI went in very strong into Kansas City, and within 2 weeks, we had 200 arrests. Local authorities could not confirm the number announced by Barr with the Kansas City Star, later stating that a Department of Justice officially said the 200 arrests cited by Barr Wednesday included some December 2019, including both state and FBI arrests and joint operations reactions. The Kansas City protests occur against the operation on July 17, 2020. Organizers called for 50% of the funds for Kansas City Police Department, pretty much defunding the police, being diverted to the housing, health, and education initiatives in the city. Mother of Legend Telephero, Sharon Powell, and responded to protesters stating Operation Legend to investigate murders that had been unsolved. One of those is for my 4-year-old son, which did not make it to 5 years old. And if you're against that, maybe you have to reevaluate your stance and your mentality to see what direction you're headed in. Alright, this was just relating to Operation Legend. I'll read a few verses. I'm going to 2nd Ezra 15, classic ones. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and the sword in their hands. Civil unrest, racial, race riots, class riots, basically it's pretty much civil unrest, man, among different classes and nation of people, man. 16. For there shall be sedition among men, invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the courses of their actions shall stand in their power. And that's what's happening, sedition in this country, various other countries over social, economical, and different topics. You know, I mean, the people pretty much are taking the course of their action in their own hands against the princes and kings, man. So they're not minding or don't care about relating to the princes and the powers, man. So they bucking up against the authorities, man. You know, and this relates to sedition, which is mutiny, violent uprisings. You know what I mean? So they're not regarding authority, they're not respecting it. Neither do they care. Number 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. This is martial law. We in the precursors of martial law anyway. Troops being sent, for example, Portland, federal troops, which is unrelated to this one, but they send in different parts for, you know, to quell the violence. You know, for example, Chicago, which is notorious for violence, especially in the inner cities. And a lot of that is really mostly black on black crime, which is another topic in itself. But that being said, you know, a lot of the major cities it's pretty much civil unrest and violence, man. So the government started to interfere in this stuff. You know, the government starting to interfere, and you know and this is the precursors to martial law, man. You know what I mean? Where the full implementation is going to come in full effect, where they're going to pretty much cancel or rescind relating to the Constitution, and they're going to full out implement, you know, full blown martial law, curfews, pretty much lockdown. You know, we were in the precursors of that earlier few months. You know, relating to stay at home mandates and essential business and stuff like that. And pretty much we were the precursors of that. You know what I mean? But there's going to be a point where it's going to be full implementation. You're going to be able to see them, these different troops. You know, federal troops. Some of them going to be Gurkha troops. Some of them going to be ones that are foreign. You know what I mean? But this stuff's going to happen. You know what I mean? This stuff's going to happen. And we're the precursors of it now. in times of civil unrest. You know what I mean? We're in the times of civil unrest. Nation against nation. You know. Let me get another verse real quick. I'll just go to Matthews and get another one. I'll read 6 through 8 through Matthew's example verse. And ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass. But the end is not yet. These are the precursors. These are birth pangs, times of trouble, times of sorrow, and that's what we're in. For nation shall rise up against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines, pestilence all over. You got locusts all over, you know, causing a great pandemic with the locusts that's spreading from the Middle East, Africa countries, even South America. Eventually they're going to come here. You know what I mean? This is all prophecy relating to the plagues of Egypt. Let me read that again. For the nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in different places. That's what we have. Famines, there's food shortage. We have pestilence relating to this COVID virus. Pestilence relating and plagues relating to that the locust, which ultimately potentially can cause worldwide famine, relating to destruction of vegetation and land. Earthquakes, lots of earthquakes, flooding. China, major flooding in China. And majority of the provinces in China continuously flooded, heavy flooding. So we in times of serious things happening. And number 8, the last one. All these things are the beginnings of sorrows. And we in the beginnings of sorrows because we know we're near relating to prophecy, the end. This is just the beginning. But we are in the beginning. You know, I mean, a lot of things are happening. This was just a quick article relating to Operation Legend, a few verses. That being said, I will begin to end this. Give all praise to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahshua, Bashem, Rock and Dish. Salutation to the elders and apostles, the GMS groups and ones of light, teach 100% truth. Shalom, Barakathon to them. And give all praise to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahshua. That being said, I will begin to end this. All praise to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahshua, Bashem, Rock and Dish. Salutation to the elders and apostles, the GMS groups and ones of light, teach 100% truth. Shalom, Barakathon to them. And give all praise to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahshua, Bashem, Rock and Dish. Water, Shalom, thanks.